Hello YouTube, it's Barbara Jean. Um, I'm going to read a passage from the book of Romans, chapter 11, in response to the death of Ariel Sharon. This passage came to my mind this morning, and I'm going to start reading at verse 11 of chapter 11 of Romans. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am an apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office, if by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them. For if the casting away of them be the reconciliation of the world, what shall the receiving of them be, but life from the dead? For if the first fruits be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou being a wild olive tree wert grafted in among them, and with them partakers of the root and the fatness of the olive tree, boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear. For if God spared not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee. Behold, therefore, the goodness and the severity of God. Unto them which fell, severity, but towards thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness. Otherwise thou also shalt be cut off, and they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in, for God is able to graft them in again. For if thou wert cut off out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and wert grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree, how much more shall thee, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree? For I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits. The blindness in part is happened to Israel, until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. Okay, so that's all I'm going to read. I just wanted to say that I do believe that Rabbi Isaac Kaduri had been visited by Jesus, and that Jesus gave him a prophecy on the timing of his return. And I believe this is a sign to Israel and a sign to the Gentiles. A sign to Israel that Messiah is getting ready to appear to them and show his glory. Also, it is a sign to the Gentiles that the fullness of the Gentiles has come in. So if you're not saved, do it now. The age of grace is coming to a close. The age of the Gentiles is coming to a close. This is a sign. It is a very obvious sign, a very blatant sign, so that we who are not blind can see. The Lord wants us to see the truth. And only if we are blind and do not want to see the truth, we will not see it. But this is an obvious sign. Isaac Kaduri was 108 years old, and I do believe the Lord visited him for this purpose, to tell him the timing and to prepare his people for the return of the Messiah, or the coming. In their case, they don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah, so they don't even believe he came the first time. But it's a sign for us Gentiles who know the truth that Jesus Christ, who is the Messiah, is coming back. His timing is his timing, but I do believe that this is a very important sign for us all. Anyway, I do I do send out my sympathies to the Sharon family and to the people of Israel. God bless.